Welcome to Real West Immigration. I'm Jad Dillon, and if you're serious about making Canada your home, this is where you'll get the truth, the strategy, and the guidance you need to finally turn that dream into reality. Now, imagine being one decision away from your Canadian dream and missing it simply because you waited too long to act. That's what's happening to thousands of people right now. They're watching the draws, refreshing their profiles, waiting for their scores to draw, and telling themselves, next time will be my turn. But here's the truth. There is no next time for people who refuse to adapt. And if you want to succeed in Canada's immigration system in 2025 and beyond, you need a plan, you need clarity, and you need the courage to act when everyone else is still hesitating. And let's address the elephant in the room. French is no longer a nice bonus. It's the single biggest differentiator in the express entry system. Every time there's a Francophone draw, thousands of people move forward, and thousands more sit back, angry, confused, and left behind. This year alone, over 25,500 invitations have been issued under French draws, already surpassing last year's totals. And we're not even done with the year yet. Think about that for a second. That's tens of thousands of people who secured a pathway to permanent residence, while others kept waiting for their scores to magically fall. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. French is hard. I'm busy. I don't have time. But here's the reality. Plenty of people with busy jobs, families, and responsibilities have managed it. They set aside 30 minutes a day, they committed, and today they're receiving approvals while others are still complaining on social media. If they can do it, you can do it too. The only question is whether you'll actually take action. Why is French so important? Because Canada made a promise. The government committed to raising the percentage of Francophone immigration outside Quebec every year until it reaches 12% of all immigration by 2029. That's not just speculation, that's a policy. This year is 8.5%, next year is 9%, then 9.5%, then 10%, then 11%, and finally 12%. That's a steady climb, locked into the government's plan. So if you're ignoring French, you're ignoring one of the clearest signals IRCC has ever given. And yet, every time a French draw happens, people are shocked. They ask, why is Canada doing this? Why not more CEC draws? Why not more general draws? But let me put it bluntly. Canada is a bilingual country. French is an official language. The government isn't confused. They aren't experimenting. They're executing a long-term plan. You and I don't get to change that plan. Our job is to recognize it, adapt to it, and position ourselves to benefit. Complaining doesn't move you closer to your PR. Adaptation does. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger landscape. Right now, there are 2.3 to 2.5 million temporary residents in Canada. Students, workers, and visitors. All waiting for their PR. At the same time, Canada has annual immigration targets that are only fracturing up the number. Do you see the imbalance? There are far more people wanting PR than there are available spots, which means the system has to filter. And the way they filter is by setting priorities. Categories like French, healthcare, trade, education, STEM, and even agriculture. If you don't fit into one of these priorities, or if you don't have a built-in strategy to strengthen your profile, you're automatically at a disadvantage. This is why waiting is not a strategy. People keep telling themselves, scores will drop, maybe next month, maybe next draw. But look at the pattern. Scores remain high, draws are smaller, the pool refills within a week. IRCC knows exactly what they're doing. They're not lowering the bar, they're shaping the system to reward profiles that meet their need. So if you're just hoping and waiting, you're not in control of your future. Let's talk about something most people completely overlook. The document story. Immigration officers don't just look at your latest application. They look at your history. They connect the dots across every form you've ever submitted. Study permits, visitor records, work permits, PR profiles. If something doesn't add up, that's a red flag. If you left out work history before and suddenly add it now, that's a red flag. If your job title says manager, but your duties look entry level, that's a red flag. If your employer letters don't match the knock requirements, that's a red flag. One inconsistency can undo months or years of waiting. And this is exactly where professional guidance makes the difference. Because if you can't see your own blind spots, you can't see where an officer might doubt your story. But when I work with clients, I dig into their history, line by line, and we clean it up before it ever gets to IRCC. That's what turns a risky application into a strong one. Let me give you a quick story. I had two clients with very similar backgrounds. Both were in education roles. Both had Canadian work experience. Both had employers interested in supporting them. One came to me early. We mapped up their knock carefully, corrected their employer letter, and encouraged their employer to get designated under the right program. They also invested in French training. Today, they're approved. The other, they assumed their employer would figure it out. Didn't adjust their letters, ignored French, and missed the deadline. Their file is still waiting, unresolved, while quotas are filling. Now, the difference wasn't luck, it was strategy. And here's another truth. Canada doesn't owe you a PR. There's no entitlement, there's no fairness. It's not about you. It's about Canada's needs. The sooner you accept the fact, the sooner you can stop wasting energy and frustration and start putting that energy into action. The people who succeed are not the ones with perfect backgrounds. They're the ones who adapt. So, what should you do now? First, hit that subscribe button to this channel. That way you don't miss these updates as soon as they happen, because one missed draw or one missed announcement could cost you months of progress. Second, book a consultation using the link below. That's where we take a look at your profile, your knock code, your employer, your history, and actually build a strategy for you. We figure out whether French, employer designation, category alignment, or document cleanup is the move that will make you competitive. That's where we stop guessing and start planning. Because remember this, your future in Canada, it's not just a lottery ticket. It's not about waiting for luck. It's about building a strategy that aligns with the rules of the game as they are today, not as you wish they were. That's how you move forward from hope to approval. So ask yourself, do you want to keep waiting and hoping? Or do you want to finally take control, adapt to the system, and secure your future? The choice is yours, but the opportunity won't wait forever. Subscribe now, book your one-on-one consultation, and let's build a strategy that gets you to the finish line. Because your Canadian dream isn't about luck. It's about preparation, precision, and action.